This is Underground Apples.
No, that's actually one I wrote.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called the Hog Holler Stomp.
All right. So we'll shut this off. Welcome to Undergroundopolis, everybody. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. We're at the music store, 307 West Lewis and Clark Parkway, down here at Drummer Super Center. They're so cool. Let me use their place to do this show now. We got this blinging ass chrome mic. It's really cool. Feel like Elton John. Oh, sorry I've gotten a little behind on the shows, but you know, life happens. I had a New England a small New England tour. New York is awesome. The Big Apple is baked, and I loved every second of it. Boston's cool. Pennsylvania's the longest state out. Thought I was never going to get out of Pennsylvania. Then to come home, got that cold everybody got. Didn't test positive COVID or anything. But it was a nasty cold. It was worse than when I had COVID, to be honest. Like, COVID was nothing when I had it. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it affected a lot of people badly, but just me, it was nothing. But this cold, I was a big-ass baby, I tell you. One last thing. Undergroundopolis is now getting one Thursday a month at 21st in Germantown, usually the third Thursday. However, February, it's going to be the last Thursday of each month. Undergroundopolis presents it. January 19th, we'll be presenting D. Boone Pittman and the Fugitives with the Bottoms Up, and both cool local bands. This is going to be called the Local Ruckus, and we're going to do it usually every third Thursday of every month at 21st in Germantown in Louisville, Kentucky. My guest tonight, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from.
Hey, I'm Dev Hovis with the Possum Junction Band, rocking out here at Undergroundopolis with Mr. Rob, the music store down here on Lewis and Clark in Clarksville. Just hanging out, doing a little picking, getting distracted by this blinging ass chrome mic that they have available here at the music store. So if you're in the market, they can help you out.
I'm glad you said Clarksville because I think I forgot to. Well, how long have you been playing?
I've been playing music since I was about 15. I cut my teeth playing thrash metal, power metal, stuff like that. Pantera guy, so I personally am super stoked about the reunion tour.
I am too.
I mean, if you're a fan of the music, I think their heart's in the right place. So, I mean, I think it's a once-in-a-lifetime show, so I'm excited about it. But as of recently, the past few years, I've kind of found my soul in bluegrass and folk roots music. So that's kind of had a resurgence, thankfully, here lately, I think. Going back to the core of, raw, real music, everything I think went by the wayside of a lot of mixing and mastering and digitizing everything, and I think people really miss the rawness of what music can bring, the real emotion that's behind it.
Right. That's a good point. So let me ask you this. Because who would you say you saw live or in concert now, other than Pantera, that made you say, you know what, I want to do that. I want to be a musician.
Oh, I've had, I've had the dream as long as I can remember, but actually here recently, because when you're, coming up in music and you're trying to gain some footing in it, it's not the easiest industry to make a living off of, but you pour your heart and soul into it. And you have those moments where you're like, oh shit, man, what am I doing with my life? But last July, actually, my wife and I went to Indianapolis and we seen Billy Strings at the White River TCU Amphitheater, and I was just blown away. Out of all the shows and everything I'd been to, it was just, in my opinion, a flawless performance. And I seen, the connection that they had with the crowd, with each other, and the fun they were having. And I was like, that reminded me of why I'm doing what I'm doing every day, hanging out in old bar rooms and taverns and little hole in the wall festivals, wherever we can get in to do it. Just being able to play for people is a privilege.
So you got an EP coming out?
Yeah, sometime around the first of the year we're hoping. It's Possum Junction EP, going to be called Critters. It's going to be
That's awesome.
It's going to be a collection of originals and some old traditional folk and bluegrass tunes. So it'll be a lot of fun. We got a couple in the studio done, and we're working towards that and getting shows booked for next season.
So who else performing on it?
Well, the Possum Junction Band, so my buddy Shep Willems, a good friend of mine, brother of mine, and my buddy Pat Van Winkle plays harmonica and vocals, and I got a gentleman by the name of Cody Baker, who's a collegiately trained bluegrass musician that picks guitar and mandolin, and have a good buddy from Morton's Gap, Peyton Bowling, who's got his own album out and makes his own noise, and he's just a phenomenal musician and singer altogether. He comes in and helps out.
He is a good singer.
Yeah, I was in studio. He's a phenomenal singer. To see him live, it shook me the first time we got thrown in together in this little bar in Richmond, Kentucky, and we didn't know each other. And he played right before we went on. We were like, "Shit, how do you follow that act?" Yeah, I was just doing some guitar for Peyton not too long ago.
Right on.
And some stuff he's working on. So we got stuff in the works. So just hang out, stay tuned.
Do you have a favorite show you've ever played?
Yeah, I think my favorite gig I've ever played, honestly, was up in Bride, Indiana, at a little joint called the Possum Saloon. And they had an awesome setup. The staff and the crew was awesome. They treated us really well. They went above and beyond to make sure we were taken care of. And it was really cool the way they had it set up, because we played outside in a little patio area, and they had it mic'd up to where it ran into the bar too. So as we were performing outside, if people were hanging out at the bar, they could hear the live performance, and it was really fun. And it was close to the Hollywood Casino, which helps.
Bride, Indiana just sounds like you'd have chicken wire in front of the stage.
There's not much, that's pretty much it. There's not much.
No offense if you're from Bright.
There's a casino and then the Possum Saloon, and then the sticks across from the river from Chicago.
Well, here's the counter question. What's your least favorite show you ever played?
My least favorite show I've ever played. Alright, so we did this thing for this group, and I won't throw any shade on anybody or drop any names, but we played 2 sets in one day, and it was in the rain, and the first set was it was an early ass roll call. It was like 8:30 a.m. and then the second show started like 2:30 or 3, and we had brought all our own equipment, our own sound equipment, our own rig and setup, and we let everybody else that was playing use it, and we went and played the whole 2 sets and ended up without getting paid for it.
Oh.
And it was that was pretty frustrating. And then it kept raining, and we were just in this little tent, trash bags over our shit, trying to keep it dry, and it was a nightmare. And nobody was happy. We were all gritting, going through it, trying to get the show done, but nobody was happy about it.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
Wake up your mind with premium organic coffee that's really, really good for you. This isn't just any regular cup of joe. Four Sigmatic's best-selling coffee enhances focus, boosts your mood, and even supports your immune system. Four Sigmatic Coffee is mixed with functional mushrooms like lion's mane and chaga. These superfoods are some of the most studied wellness supporting supplements on the planet, now easily mixed into your daily favorites. Guaranteed delicious and loved by thousands, over 1 million cups served, 100,000 plus monthly subscribers, and over 30,000 5-star reviews. Try it risk-free, and if you don't love it, you get your money back. Use the code RobUnderground to subscribe and to save 30% off your subscription. It's 20% without it. Or you can just click the link in the description. Be sure to try Four Sigmatic Natural Coffee.
I'm gonna do a little original number. Wrote with my band Possum Junction. It's called Glass. Well, been a house in a broke down pickup truck. Bruise of wicked evil, got the world down on its luck. Ain't no kind of moonshine, ain't no homegrown weed. So stamp blue colored tweak is cooking high-speed chicken feed. Breathing in now deeper, let that reaper take your soul. Grab you by the hand and let you know it's time to roll. Takes you to the other side and never brings you back. Leaves you all alone without a monkey on your back. Rolling like a freight train through the heart of this here town. Backyard laughs and broken homes are all there is around. Ain't no bright and sunny side, there ain't no in between. America's broken on this methamphetamine. Breathing out deeper, let that reaper take your soul. Grab you by the hand and let you know it's time to roll. Takes you to the other side and never brings you back. Leaves you all alone without a monkey on your back. Just around the corner, it's just right up every street. Hides behind those sunken eyes and smiles without no teeth. Ain't no bright and sunny side to this here death machine. We're victims of the cancer we call methamphetamine. Breathing out deeper, let that reaper take your soul. Grab you by the hand and let you know it's time to roll. Takes you to the other side and never brings you back. Leaves you all alone with that old monkey on your back. Ain't no homegrown weed, so it's damn blue collar tweakers cooking high-speed chicken.
Would you say you prefer the studio or the stage? It's a tough one. We're getting into the tougher questions.
That is a tough one. That is a tough one. I would say the stage. Because in studio, you know, when you're writing, when you're creating, when you're making music, you know, you go over it a million times and a million times and a million times, and
You're making something permanent.
You know, you run it into the ground, and then you're always trying to make it better, and you sit back and you're like, all right, I like it, and then you listen to it again, and you're like, oh, I could use this or that, And it gets a little grindy, but then when it comes together and you perform it, and you see people getting off on your music, and they're throwing dollars in the tip bucket, buying shirts, hooping and hollering and dancing around. It's like, yeah, that's why we do it. That's why we do it. So I'd have to say on stage.
Well, if you could work with any producer, who would that be? Ooh, that's a tough one.
Probably Rick Rubin.
Very popular answer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the dude's great. He's spanned every genre, and the way he can get every sound to be brought out right where it needs to be, and just his unhumanly ear for music. That'd be, he's done from Jay-Z to Johnny Cash. He's got it all covered. So that would be a treat.
Well, lost my place here.
Well, that mic's distracting. That
Well, I
blown-ass chrome mic.
know, man. What else shows you got coming up?
Well, for sure we got one in, April. Yeah, in April we're doing the Fuzzy Pig Festival up in Milltown, Indiana. And
That sounds fun.
oh yeah,
I'm writing that down.
we actually
Fuzzy Pig.
yeah, I was just scouring, looking through, trying to get gigs booked, and it came up local, and they've had it for a couple years now, and I seen it, and I got in contact with the guy that was running it, and sent him our single and our live album, and he was like, hell yeah, man, I dig it, I'll get you on. They're running 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They got a Facebook page. They'll be announcing the full lineups and everything sometime after the first of the year. So we're excited about that.
You know the dates?
April 19th, 20th, and 21st, I want to say. Don't quote me on that.
All right, well, we'll look up on Facebook and confirm.
Yeah.
There'll be a link to that in the description.
Also, in May, we're going to be at the Boho in Corden. And June, we got the Alibi in Corden. And there's a gig in Jeffersonville I'm supposed to get on. They said sometime in January, but I haven't got a date back yet, so I don't want to get too excited about that. So we know how that goes.
Yeah. Well, Critters, you planning on releasing it digitally or?
Yeah, it'll be a digital release.
No vinyl yet?
No vinyl yet.
Or cassette?
As soon as we can get it, up and running and get enough, funds up, we'd like to print some vinyls.
It's expensive.
Yeah,
It's very
we're
expensive.
actually in the works right now to start up a Patreon. I've got a little old machine where we can actually make cassettes, and once we get the Patreon fired up, our annual donors or whatever will get monthly cassettes of behind-the-scenes rehearsal stuff and exclusive demos and stuff like that.
See, I'm a cassette guy. Well, a lot of people like vinyl, but I'm still a cassette collector. I've got a huge cassette collection.
And cassettes were awesome. That was the first thing I actually listened to music on. My parents had vinyls and stuff, but my brothers were a little bit older than me, and I would sneak into their cars and stuff and go through the cassettes, and swipe the ones that I really liked. But I don't know what the hell happened to it.
Well, the great thing about cassettes as a musician is rewind, stop, play.
Yeah.
Whereas on vinyl, it's
Yeah, and you gotta pray you get it on the right spot.
yeah, and CD just sucks.
Yeah, CD was awful. The constant skipping, and the giant booklets. Yeah.
Yeah, CD was just the most overrated to me. It was of course that's what all my music's on because it's cheap to make, but it was overpriced. Because once you find out find how cheap it is to make CDs as opposed to cassettes.
Yeah.
It was just overhyped by the record companies. They were, look, we could do this and we could discontinue all this other stuff because it's expensive.
Yeah. Raise those margins.
Can't blame them, but you got a Bandcamp or anything you want to plug in before we wrap it up?
No, got nothing like that.
I highly recommend you get a Bandcamp.
All right.
Get a Bandcamp. You'll find I really highly recommend it because that's artist managed and everything,
All right. I'll definitely look into that. Appreciate the heads up.
Right? Got a pre-save yet? Link or anything just yet?
You can visit the Possum Junction Band Facebook page, and there's a link to our YouTube that's got it's got our single on it, and we tracked a live album with Radio Artifact in Cincinnati.
Oh, cool! I've recorded there too.
Yeah, it was a really fun setup. where we had a cajon player with us, and they set the big subwoofer up under the stage, so when he'd hit it with his palm, it would just thud and shake, and it was a super cool experience. And you can find us anywhere that you can find music. We've on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, all that noise. So look us up, give us a like and a follow, share it, check it out. Tell all your people that are booking shows to get the Possum Junction in, and we throw a hell of a party.
That's right. All the links will be that he just mentioned will be in the description. Be sure to check everything out. Thank you all for tuning in. If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you know when we have new videos.
Ew.
And this is your host, Rob Lyon, signing off.
Pick another one here. It's actually going to be an Undergroundopolis exclusive. We had not played it live or anything before.
Oh, yes.
It's a little old-timey sounding number I wrote called Lover's Creek. Carry me through the valley, carry me through the trees, to the honeysuckle's bough. We'll dip our feet in Lover's Creek. In Lover's Creek we'll go splashing, we'll go swinging off the vine, we'll go dancing in the moonlight, make love so sweet in Lover's Creek, Lover's Creek. Oh, my sweet darling angel, oh, my sweet darling bride, picking strings with her beside you, dipping our feet in Lover's Creek. In Lover's Creek we'll go splashing, we'll go swinging off the vine, we'll go dancing through the moonlight, make love so sweet in Lover's Creek, Lover's Creek.